Hi guys, welcome to another UDoc video. This time I'm here with Hills to talk to you briefly about hay fever. So this time of year, particularly, hay fever starts to become a problem. For some of us it's quite mild and just causes the odd symptom every now and then, but for others amongst us it can be really miserable. And what we thought we'd do is talk to you a little bit about kind of what's causing hay fever, and then go on to talk about things you can do to treat yourself about it, potentially even without needing to come and see a GP. But if you do, that's fine, and there's lots of other things that we can offer that might help ease your symptoms. So firstly, what's going on in hay fever? Well, generally it's caused by pollen, so whether that be grass or flower pollen. At this time of year, it's all around us in the air, and it enters our body through the nose or the mouth, hits receptors at the back of the throat and the nose, and causes a reaction where cells release a substance that makes our organs and the lining of the organs swell up slightly and either feel blocked, or they might produce watery fluid and cause like a runny nose and itchy eyes.
What's that substance called?
Well, that's called histamine, which is a very good point, because that comes on to why we take one of the major treatments for it, which is an antihistamine, and Hills is going to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I suffer with hay fever. I get it quite bad at the beginning of the season. I get allergic to tree pollen, so my eyes get really red and itchy. So that tends to be where I focus my treatment on, and that tends to be the idea really with treatment, is that you focus on the bit that's bothering you the most. So I tend to go for an anti-allergy eye drop, so that contains something called sodium chromoglycate, but the pharmacist will be able to tell you more about that. The idea with hay fever is that we try to avoid contact with pollen. A few practical things that you can try initially would be to, for instance, try putting some Vaseline around the outside of your nose, so that traps the pollen before it gets a chance to get into your nostrils. A couple of other things to try would be to keep your windows closed throughout the day in the house, and to avoid drying your clothes outdoors. So if those things aren't working for you and you're still suffering, then go down the antihistamine route. So that's something you can see the pharmacist for. You can then decide whether you want to go for the drowsy or the non-drowsy option. So some people's symptoms really bother them at night. They have a blocked nose, they can't sleep. So the drowsy option is helpful then. Throughout the day, sometimes people need to be on the ball for work, so then go for the non-drowsy option. And you can try a combination of the two. So if you need to get your sleep at night, take the drowsy one, and so on. So
yeah, if the main symptoms are nasal, so mainly blocked nose passages, but also if you get a bit of runny nose with it as well, this can help. Try a nasal steroid. These come in the form of little capsules that you pop up the nose and squeeze in there. Often patients will come to me and say it's not working, and we have a little bit of a chat about it, and we can soon work out why. Mainly applying it wrong. So when I was a kid, we always used to do a nasal application like that. Actually, you've got to get chin to chest and try and squirt it up like this, and you'll feel it's going in the right place, because it won't just all trickle down the back of your throat. Then sometimes patients use it as and when, so on a day that their nasal symptoms are particularly bad. It doesn't work like that. You've got to build it up and take it regularly. So sometimes it will take 2, maybe even 3 weeks before you get the benefits of the nasal steroid. And if you are getting benefits at that point, keep going. Another tip is that if, like Hilary, you know roughly what month of the year your symptoms start taking the treatment about a month or so before that, so you kind of build up this immunity and you can prevent yourself from getting to the stage where you're getting your hay fever symptoms. Other than that,
I guess if you've tried everything and you're still struggling, come and see one of us, because there still are options that we can give you on prescription.